Okay, everybody's got a fucking podcast. I mean, we have a podcast, so obviously anyone can do it.
Wait, this is a podcast?
Are you recording right now?
Technical difficulties.
No, you don't have to say anything. I'm going to edit it out.
Technical difficulties.
Okay. I put mayonnaise on a pickle.
Yo, I know y'all ain't playing skee ball. I'm trying to go to bed.
Do my feet... I mean, my feet stink, right?
Yeah. Alright, we showing up? We're showing up.
We're showing up, hey.
Okay. So,
So,
American Beauty. This was your suggestion.
it's a beauty of the American lifestyle.
Is that the way you take it?
Don't you think so?
It is a bit of a... I don't know, I'd almost call it a mockery of the American dream, right? Kind of saying like, yeah, you think that's what this shit is about?
I think it also gives a look inward of everyone's different idea of what the American dream should be.
Mm-hmm.
Because if every single character, with the exception of the gay couple, was dissatisfied in their life of what they wanted.
And, you know, we don't know. We weren't in the gay couple's house,
Yeah.
so...
They seemed happy.
They seemed happy.
They seemed very happy.
But that was the image everybody else put out, too.
It's fair.
Yeah, so... I was going to ask, so what... This is the thing I wanted to do when we started doing this shit, is... So, like, what characters did you feel like... Or was there a character you feel like you didn't get enough on? Or maybe you didn't... Maybe that's not even the right way to say it. Depending on the character. Is there a character you'd like to see more of? Like, background-wise?
I think with as big as a part as Jane played in this movie, I feel like we should have known a little more about her background as well. Other than just a little snippets that we got.
Mm-hmm.
Because even with Ricky, we saw his home life, how he was treated. He was sent off to military school, got kicked out, etc. So it's like, I just kind of feel like that with as big as a part as Jane played, we probably should have known a little bit more about like her background.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because you do kind of jump into just their household, and I mean, now granted, this is where like a series kind of trumps a movie, right? Because they would have time to go back and show the dynamic of why the two of them aren't talking as much, and because that whole that first dinner scene after he has the bad day at work, can't have a bad day at work, just expect us to be best buds, Dad, or whatever she said something to that effect. And so yeah, no, that's fair. Definitely would have liked to see that. And another point where a series kind of trumps it is, I bet Ricky's dad, I bet that was definitely... I mean, granted, you don't even have to go back and see this really to know it, but in his childhood, like, it was just... Gay was not a good thing.
No.
Like, it was very, like...
Bad.
They're all... I mean, they used, the FAG word quite a bit, I mean, you're not supposed to say it, so I spelled it. That makes it better.
Makes it better. He said, my only son's not going to be no cocksucker. I was like...
Yeah, he's not great.
Meanwhile, he had these repressed homosexual
That's why he's so aggressive about it,
Which, I mean, is not wrong. A lot of people who are kind of aggressive and standoffish towards gay people might have a little bit of in their lifestyle.
Just tell the listeners what you just did.
Flick my hand like, hey, like that.
like your wrist got turned to rubber.
Yeah, just
yeah.
You gotta do it just like that.
Yeah.
And then
did you catch that, listeners? Yeah, go ahead.
And then also to know a little bit more on her friend Angela.
Yeah, never meet her parents.
No, you don't really know anything about her other than she's a cheerleader. She tells everyone that she fucks everyone, which we find out she doesn't. She's never had sex before.
Right.
She wants to fuck Jane's dad, Lester.
Only because he gives her a lot of attention.
Yep. So, like, what's her home life like? Where? How did she get to where?
Can't be good.
To where she's at right now, to where she needs all this attention. That means it has to be a shitty home life, or she has daddy issues, or...
Yeah. Can't be good.
So...
Maybe he's all like Lester. He's a loser. I mean, they
Maybe.
say women are drawn to... You know, they say that about dudes. That you're drawn to somebody like your mother, and they say women are drawn to somebody like your father,
yeah.
which... I don't know that that's always the case, but...
I don't know, yeah, I don't know about that.
But then again,
I feel like
every time you ask somebody that, they're like, if you go like, "Is your wife like your mom?" Like the first thing you're no, like. But I wonder if you really sit down and like, okay, well, that's so. I don't know.
I think that applies more if you have mommy issues or daddy issues. That you're
Probably.
attracted to more someone like that person.
Yeah, and it's not a good thing
No.
either. It's like you're abusive just like my dad.
You're an alcoholic too? Awesome.
I love the situations we get in because of your drinking. I love that we can't pay the bills right now.
I love it. It's my favorite thing.
Did you just threaten me with a knife? Oh, I'm so hot.
You said you want the asparagus? Okay. Lester.
Uh-huh.
Good guy or bad guy in this movie? Do you think that his actions were justified, or... Because don't get me wrong, I believe that Carolyn, his wife, is a cunt.
Yes.
She is, like, the definition of a cunt that puts on, like, a show to pretend like she's perfect, and she's not.
Right. Very fair.
Like the note about the trimmers, the snippers, matching,
Same as her gardening shoes.
yeah.
Her gardening clogs. I like the way Kevin Spacey talks when he's narrating, because he just sounds like, fucking kill me. Like, that's the tone you really get from him. So is he a good guy or a bad guy? Well, first of all, can we establish what Carolyn is before we get to Lester?
Okay.
Is Carolyn, you consider her bad?
I think I would consider her more on the bad side or the antagonist side, because she was just very self-absorbed, and I mean, we don't have a lot of background into their marriage, like what was going on leading up to this. You just have a snapshot of starting from that day, in less than a year he will die, or he'll be dead.
Yes.
And
I think whatever camp you put Carolyn in, I would guess by proxy you have to say that Lester is the opposite. But are we saying, like, are they even the main, like, is Lester even the main character? I mean, yes, obviously he's the main character in the fact that he's, like, the lead in the movie. He gets the most screen time. But whose story is really being told? I mean, because he's really happy in the end. I like to step back and go, like, all right, but who's like really important? Like, you know, so he spends a lot of the movie saying he wants to commit pedophilia.
yeah, pretty much.
Just is the mean way to say it.
I want to fuck my daughter's hot friend who is in high school with her.
Which technically, Ricky's breaking the law too, because I bet Jane's 16 or 17 as well.
So, yeah, I'm curious because they never stated ages or what grade they were in, but other than referencing that Angela and Ricky were in the 9th grade together. They referenced that, so you know it's not the 9th grade. And since he disappeared, you can assume that probably by sophomore year, so either junior or senior. Unless if they said it, and we just
and he's 18.
Yeah. unless if they said like how old all of them are or like what grade they're in, and both of us just completely missed it.
No, I mean I
don't think I heard it.
watched it 3 times in the or when you and I watched it was the 4th. So I've watched it 4 times in the past 24 hours.
Really?
So, well, I rented it because one watch doesn't get you everything.
That's fair.
With this, I mean, I couldn't even watch notes. I couldn't watch notes. I couldn't take notes the first 2 times I watched it because you just kind of there's so much going on. You're like, you really gotta
unpack it. You
gotta keep up. You know, you're like, okay, well, all right. I don't know. Everybody's got their own storyline, and it's really well done. You know, as opposed to some movies that'll just kind of those kind of take you here and just go like, what about that story? Fuck them. You know, whereas with 2 hours, they really tell you 3 different stories, and they go into a lot of detail with them. You know, it's nice. You get the story about Ricky's story is the most interesting, and I would say that Ricky is the purest of the characters as far as intention goes.
Uh-huh.
He's just 100% honest. Like he just says what it is, right? Even in the end, to a fault, he says what it is when he just straight up makes Angela cry, where he's like, you're ordinary, and you are ugly, and you're boring. And, you know, but that was mean, yeah, but it was honest. And he's sticking up for his girlfriend, you know.
I love, in the first dinner scene, first dining room scene, you get pretty much a perfect example of how different the Lester and Carolyn are. Just by simple posture. You look at Carolyn on would be our left side of the table. Proper posture, no elbows on the table, stuff like that. Then you look over to Lester and he's hunched over, he's arms resting on the table. I don't know if he had an elbow on the table or not. He just hunched over, just kind of, you just right there, you immediately see the difference of the 2 characters and how completely different they are or have become from one another. Which immediately signifies, or signals, trouble in the marriage.
Yeah.
I think they played that very well. There's a lot of very subtle things that they did with the writing and the directing of this.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know how subtle it is if you pick up on it, but
well, it's
it's there.
It's however Spacey chooses to play the role as well. All right, so I got notes. So we can do notes. But we could also go through quotes because there's some good ones.
Let's do some notes first. We'll do.
And I also have 4 different theories combined into one to form the resolution.
So let's do notes. Then we can do theories and we can do quotes.
Okay. I didn't see the point in starting the movie the way they did with the video of Jane bitching about her dad. I mean, I guess maybe it sets you up in this maybe kind of like a murder mystery type deal. But
it leads right. It leads right off of the bat that, hey, you might be getting killed. But
then Lester's like, hey, I'm dead.
Yeah, but
so I guess the whole movie you're just going, well, who's going to kill him?
Yeah. And
I think you're pretty much thinking prime suspect most of the time is Carolyn.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the first time you watched it, did you go, okay, Carolyn's going to walk in and kill him? Or did you think it was the neighbor?
I can't really speak on the first time I watched this, because the first time I watched this movie, I was 9 or 10.
Okay, first time you consciously watched it.
Did
you remember the ending?
I remember the ending, yeah.
When that next time you watched it when you were older?
Oh. I thought that's who was going to kill him, because she had the gun in hand and everything.
So you thought it would be Carolyn?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
especially after the she started going to the shooting range and all that, the gun range.
Yeah, I definitely thought she was gonna kill him. Yeah. And then you just basically find out immediately. Because they show her walking through the rain because they show everybody's perspective when the shot rings out. So
interesting fun fact, though, as I put this out here, as you already know, but it's for our listeners and possibly your viewers. We're watching this. And we watched it again before we recorded this. And
yes, doesn't happen every time.
As the ending act, I guess you would call it, comes up where it's it's raining hard. It starts pouring down rain over here at Tyler's house. So all you hear to add to the effect of the movie is the rain pounding on the roof of the house. And I'm like, that's pretty fitting for the movie.
Yeah.
Is someone about to get shot?
Yeah, I know. I kept looking behind me.
It goes into that scene.
And you were kind of behind me because you were on the other couch. I was like, he's about to fucking shoot me in.
And it starts raining in the movie, and then all of a sudden I just hear on the roof, and I lean up and I kind of peek out the window. And I'm like, is it raining? I think that's pretty fitting.
Yeah.
So little fun tidbit.
Yeah. Carolyn's definitely what we would call a modern day Karen.
Yeah. That's fair.
Just Ricky not eating bacon. We never hear about that again. He's not like later. He's not like, hey, I'm Muslim. Like he doesn't. We never get back to it.
You're not eating bacon, or you're not eating bacon in general, or
you're not eating
meat. Pork.
Yeah, you don't
eat
meat. Yeah.
I mean, he scooped out what looked to be like oatmeal.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or
was it just some really nasty eggs?
You gotta scoop the eggs.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't scrambled because it was all white. They took all the yolks out and scrambled the whites of the eggs. Well, damn.
Yeah, you just I don't know, maybe it's that military style lunch, right? Just the pile of slop. Yeah.
I don't know. I wish we knew a little more about that.
We said Ricky's the purest character of the movie already. My notes jump around because I have more stuff in the resolution than anything. I put most of my brain power into that. But Lester, don't come to the drive-thru and go what? Like you knew where you were heading. Like turn the music down prior to the speaker box. That just annoys me. As someone that used to answer the speaker box, it's just kind of like, dude, just turn the music down. Be aware of where you're going, huh?
What?
So and why even say what? Because you have an idea of what they got. What they're getting at. You know, can get you something.
What do you want?
You can pretty much, if you didn't hear them, you can pretty much assume, hey, can I get it? And then they'll just, if they didn't say it, they'll be like, no, 1 second. You know, oh, okay.
Sidebar. Have you been to any of these fast food restaurants that have the automated thing at the fucking speaker box?
No.
Panda Express has one, at least the one by my place.
Okay.
And I think Taco Bell has one as well. So basically what happens, you pull up, and an automated voice starts playing, but it's a recording of a real person, and they're like, for example, it'll be, hi, welcome to Panda Express. Would you like to try our orange chicken? Or whatever. And you'll be like, no thank you, but can I get it? And then you'll hear, Panda Express, what can I get you? You're like, wait a minute, whoa.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Who the fuck was I just talking to?
Why would they have something that can't answer and then you have the person in the restaurant that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a thing to where if it detects you're there and someone from who's running the drive-thru window doesn't greet you within 10 seconds, it kicks in automatically to greet you to have a great customer experience. But it's not a great customer experience when I'm like, no thank you, can I get the let me get the orange chicken. Panda Express, what can I get you? I'm like, what? I did orange chicken. You sound completely different. Did you get a cold in the past 3 seconds? Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
It does not make any sense, and it pisses me off every time. So I've learned to I'll pull
Just
up.
wait.
I'll pull up someplace and it'll be like, and I'll wait till I hear like abnormalities, like, you know, welcome to Taco Bell, and you hear pans clank. You hear pans clank in the background. You're like, okay, that's a real person. But if it's like
you wait, they're gonna start fooling you.
if I fucking pull up to Taco Bell and they're like, hi, welcome to Taco Bell. Would you like to try our breakfast crunch? Nah, it's a recording.
No, there's
You're
nobody
not.
saying
You're not getting me.
you're not real.
Or like you pull up to some places, they'll be automated to tell you that they're closed. So like if which is a common thing anymore, where fast food places close early because they don't have employees.
Yeah.
You'll pull up and they look like they're open. You'll pull up to the thing and it'll be like, "Hi, welcome to Taco Bell. Unfortunately, we are closed at the time." Oh, okay, well, guess I'm just gonna go next door to Wendy's. And then Wendy's is closed too. And then you go to McDonald's, and McDonald's is closed. You're like, it's 8:30 on a Monday night. Why is every place closed?
Wow.
I'm speaking from personal experience on that too. So, why is KFC open but they're all out of fucking chicken? Again, personal experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to order fucking 5 pounds of mashed potatoes.
If you gotta eat, right?
Anyways.
Yeah. Also, they're just walking in the middle of the street. Jane and
Oh yeah, just dead in
Ricky.
the middle of the street.
why?
Fuck the cars.
And people do that.
Yeah.
And it's just noise that women with babies walk in the middle of the street. And I'm driving my car and like, why are you putting your baby in the street? There's a sidewalk right there.
Get out of the street.
There's a sidewalk for walking on the side. Just go over there. It's not that big a deal. When you walk in, your elbows are out. What are we doing? Fucking move.
Tell me you don't walk like that?
You can walk like that on the sidewalk. I don't know. I got a stroller, more important. I don't know. Just get the fuck out of the way.
Another thing, I like how...
There's going to be a very late-term abortion.
Yes. Love a good late-term abortion. Support it.
By car. Anyway.
I mean, it's like an enhanced version of a hanger. It's metal.
I
It
suggest
bends.
watching that damn Michael Che sketch show on HBO Max. And he's got a skit about this dude's karate dojo. And he's just kicking pregnant women in the stomach. He's like, I don't want to butcher the lines. I think it's something like 2 months, 6 months, whatever. It's all ragu in the end. Anyway.
So 2 sidebars. Number 1, according to this website I'm on, and this is the quote from the website. Lester says, I feel like I've been in a coma for the past 20 years, and I'm just now waking up. As Lester fantasizes about his daughter's best friend, 16-year-old Angela Hayes. So they picked up somewhere she's 16. I guess we'll roll with that. I mean, she has a car, so...
Well, I was going to say, the only way that I picked that up is when he's outside smoking weed with Ricky. He's like... Yeah, and he quits right in front of him, which I have that quote later, so save that. But and he goes like, "What? Aren't you scared? You just quit your job? Well, I guess you're all at 16, so whatever." And then Ricky's like, "I'm 18." And he goes, "Oh." And he's like, "I have other sources of income." And he's like holding up the joint, So it's kind of like that's I guess that would be the only clue that would lead me to believe that Jane and Angela are maybe 16.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's never directly said.
It's not said directly unless
Unless
maybe like the people that wrote the summary are like 16-year-old Angela Hayes, and they're like, okay, well, all right, well that's our source then. I don't know. So the internet's our source. I think it's a movie about pedophilia. It's my favorite movie about pedophilia. It's the only one I really know about pedophilia.
I mean, if it was,
I say like my favorite movie about pedophilia as if there's like all these movies. The only one I know, it's the best movie I know about pedophilia. I guess there's movies about pedophilia, like about like I think his movie's called like Traffic and shit, right? I mean, there's movies in which kids are trafficked.
It would make it more fitting in this aspect.
Taken. Anyway, go ahead.
If you put Ricky as being 16 or whatever,
Yeah.
and Kevin Spacey's character's after him, make it more fitting for Kevin Spacey's
Right,
actual character.
it'd be a biopic for
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey, yeah.
You know, he just got charged in the UK, 3 counts of sexual misconduct with a minor.
Oh,
Just-
Kevin.
Good actor.
Here's the
but,
fucked
like,
up part, man, is he's so good.
Stop diddling little boys. He's a diddler. He's a fucking diddler.
Yeah.
Fucking diddler. Yeah.
Anyway.
So sidebar number 2. I love how they portray like the American beauty, the American dream as being in a suburb, like literally a cookie cutter suburb. Like you look at where they show, and that could be any suburb in any city, anywhere across the United States. The trees line the fucking streets. You got beautifully painted houses, fences. You got the gay couple that everyone accepts, except for the one hateful neighbor, which is about accurate for a suburb.
Yeah.
There's always that one neighbor that hates people and
Yeah.
apparently tries to come on to you.
Well, only...
I see the way the old people next to you look at you.
That's because I take the trash out and shovel their driveway. So.
Yeah, snow ain't the only thing they want you to plow.
If you're having an affair, maybe don't do foreplay in the drive-thru. Just saying.
I mean, they're trying to smile. They were smileys.
What? Yeah.
I think that'd be more torture. I think that'd be right about same torture of having a job, working there, and you have to say smile every single time you say something, as working at Chick-fil-A and have to say my pleasure after everything.
A lot of fast food talk in this one so far, but Chick-fil-A people really, like, don't seem like they're faking, you know? Like, Chick-fil-A people are always, like, they got that grin.
My pleasure.
Every time. I mean, they mean it. Like, they, like, tell, like, you know when someone says something and you can tell they're, like, bullshitting? Like, when a McDonald's person hands you your shit and they're like, have a good day. You know, and you're like, yeah, you don't mean that, but I don't blame you. And then the Chick-fil-A people, you believe that shit.
Yeah. You can always walk into a Chick-fil-A and you can always pick out the employees that are new and are not going to last. Just by the way, you have everyone else like perfect posture, my pleasure, and then you have the one, my pleasure. You're like, yeah, you're not going to last.
Yeah.
You'll be gone next time I come here.
And I mean, how do they keep people with those fucking attitudes? Because, like, I don't know, man. I worked at Tim Hortons and I didn't think it was all that great. I don't know. Is there incentive pay? It's like, oh, and here's your happy bonus for this pay period.
Happy bonus.
Like, I don't know, man. That's just, is that a child trafficking ring? Like, what's going on? Is there a threat of child trafficking? Like, we'll find members of your family if you don't fucking smile. And you're like, oh, okay, my bad. Are all the Chick-fil-A people slaves? Is that what's going on?
Well, it's fair to assume, as Google just proved to me, that we're not the only ones that question this. So apparently, they get hired on as based on how they are as a person and whether or not they fit in the rest of the team. And they lean heavily on a friendly personality. Now, I know...
That's profiling!
Now, I know...
That's like saying you can't work here because you're black. You can't work here. Why? Because face doesn't look like you'd be happy.
Well, same thing, like... What do you mean I didn't get hired on at Hooters? Where are they at?
I don't know, Angela Hayes. Nice way to swing us back.
No, what I was just gonna say on that, because I've heard the stories of people who have worked at Chick-fil-A where it's like they will write you up if you're not smiling or have a grin and say "my pleasure," you get written up, and they will terminate people real quick, which is amazing in this economy when they pay just marginally above other fast food places. That they can just just willingly just hey
above other fast food places at this point is, I mean, like, I see signs for like White Castle.
Oh god,
and they're like 15 an hour.
Makes me want to quit my job and go work at White Castle.
Stress free, just pick up extra hours. Fuck, I can pick up another job.
No, you just fucking flipping on all them fucking sliders, dropping some chicken rings.
I mean, nobody cares how long it takes.
It's White Castle.
You're waiting. Well, that, but like the whole thing with White Castle, well, everything's fresh, so you gotta wait. And do you ever complain when you're waiting at White Castle?
Only one that's taking too long. Only one at the one on Wilson.
Only one that's taking too long.
The one on Wilson's fucking awful. I've been the only car in the drive-thru. It took 30 minutes to get my food. That one's bad.
No, that's bad. But like when you got like, I mean, you know, whatever.
Swing it back.
Swing it back. So Angela's ultra confident until someone returns the confidence. Right. So
yeah.
You really learn who she is towards the end, where, because the whole time you do believe like, okay, she's like this future model or whatever, but you also wonder like, how come she's never got some boyfriend she's bringing around, or how, you know? So is it because she's just a fucking bitch? Maybe
because she's ordinary.
Is she ordinary? No one's interested. Like, she's hot, but
no personality.
No personality.
I
don't want to date her.
Stick.
Right, and then she's never. You find out she's a virgin.
Even though she talks about all the guys she's fucked and sucked and.
Yeah, photographers that she's banging.
Yeah.
At photo shoots.
Yeah.
You know.
Was she really banging them?
Obviously not. But the thing is, so she uses the people around. She surrounds herself intentionally because she doesn't want to feel bad. So she surrounds herself with people to make her feel better. I mean, you see this all the time with people. You know, that was a common thing high school cheerleaders did.
That's why I hang out with you.
Yeah, I know. You're like, I look great in my wedding pictures because Tyler was there. Yeah, but you know, she considers Jane as less than her.
Yeah.
Right. So the fact so that it bothers her when she's like, I like Ricky. Right. She wants to say he's a freak and all this shit. Right. Just kind of like discounting him, throw him to the side. Like, you don't need him, Jane. This guy's a freak.
He's gonna chop us up.
Yeah. Oh, shit. He's a serial killer. Where'd you get that? So, you know, what happens is, fuck. Yeah, I hate that. You're like right in the middle of something, and then it just leaves your head. So then the next example is she likes all the attention from her dad because, you know, he fucking fumbles all over himself every time Angela's around, right?
What do you say? You need a ride because we got a car. We got a car. You need a ride.
You need a ride? I have a car.
I have a car. We can take you. We got a car. You need a ride? You need a ride?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll take a pizza. Yeah, I have a car.
I got a car. Yeah, the car has wheels. It goes. Ride.
Oh, you have a car. Oh, wow, that's great. Oh, Jane's thinking about getting a car. It's like, Dad.
And I got a car too.
He just trips all over himself. So then, she, you know, gets a little more nervous when she comes up and he's been working out and she wants to feel his arms. You know, she's waiting for her, you know, magic touch for him to be all like, but this time he's just confident. He's like, yeah, you like muscles? And she's like, oh, I should go check on Jane.
Which, in that scene, he's like, yeah, you like muscles? Would you like raging hard dick or softy at that moment? Did it turn you on? Did it turn you on?
Yeah, definitely. I was rock hard. Yeah, oh yeah.
That's where you had to lay down, right? You had to lay down on the couch. You're like, so I can just tuck this up in my waistband.
No, you sit up to hide it. You sit up and hide a boner. You know, you lean forward.
You lay down and fucking tuck in your waistband and just
What is this? Breaking Bad? Super Bad? We're talking like this is Super Bad over here? Breaking Bad. I never saw any boners
Hey,
in
wait a
Breaking
minute.
Bad.
There was boners in Breaking Bad? I must have missed something. Is that what they were breaking?
It was bad.
It was bad. Oh, shit.
All right. I love a good movie sin. I love catching a movie sin, right? So, when his dad bursts in his room because Ricky got in the cabinet, right? Ricky turns around before his dad even hits him. He's got blood coming down out of his nose. I love just catching something little like that. If you remember in Pulp Fiction, I caught that where the bullet holes are in the walls before the dude
before
comes
they
out of the
start
bathroom.
shooting.
So I love catching something like that. So if you watch the scene closely, audience, you'll see Ricky's already got a bloody nose before his dad throws one at him.
Which, to poke a hole in your hole to poke, I just said that, that he was just so turned on from seeing Jane's boobs through the window that his nose started to bleed. I mean, he just obviously just really a massive erection, so bad that the blood didn't know where to go, so it started coming out of his nose. I mean,
right.
It's happened to the best of us.
Right. Not me, because I'm the worst of us, so you're the best of us, and you got the bloody nose. So, yeah.
I mean, it happens.
That's how it happens, right? I'm the worst of us, so I didn't experience that yet. So.
You just hear like, oh my god, I'm so fucking. What the fuck is going on around? Why is my nose bleeding?
Okay, so how do you think his dad found out that the cabinet was open? Do you think the mom said something? Like, not intentionally, because she obviously loves her son, but like, do you think that she was just like, yeah, he was in the cabinet? Like, just like, did he leave it open in a moment of like aloofness? Right? Did he just forget? He was so excited to show Jane his trash bag floating around.
Well, there's two things with that. Number one, if you noticed in the last scene that we saw his mom, she was holding a plate. It looked very similar to that one, but the camera never panned down far enough to see the swastika.
Yeah.
So could have been the same plate. It could have been a different one. But the fact she was holding a plate makes it seem like, okay, well, what's going on here?
Did he leave it unlocked? She get it.
Yeah.
But you'd think he'd be beating the shit out of her. Because there's no way that woman's just that, like, absent-minded.
Yeah.
Without just going through years and years of just abuse. There's no way she's that shaken up. She sits in a room and stares at a wall. She was sitting in the dining room, like, staring at the wall. And he had to be like, Mom. And, oh, hi. Like, there's no way that woman's just not abused every day of her life and just screamed at.
Or my second theory on it is maybe when Ricky put the plate back in there, maybe he didn't put it back in the same exact way that it was in there before, and he noticed, and he obviously jumped the gun like, oh, it's my dope fiend son that just did that.
Which is hilarious that he's so like, because like they sent him to the mental hospital because he got a fight at school, and I mean he talked about like he wants the drug test and all that shit, but like he's testing him as if it was a kid that like OD'd at one point, like they had like a real fucking problem. Like that always is amazing to me, the people that like freak the fuck out about weed. Yeah. It's always very interesting to me. It's like, it's weed. And the gateway drug. Okay, yeah, in some cases, sure. But
it's just fucking weed.
Most of the time. I mean, look, if you find coke in his room, yeah, get worried. But
get worried.
If you just
he has a lot of money somewhere. Coke is expensive.
Yeah.
Coke is a rich person's drug.
Yeah.
Now heroin, that's a poor person's drug. Yeah, buddy.
Speaking of heroin, I am getting into The Wire.
You're not getting into the needle?
No.
Okay.
HBO show. The Wire. It was hard first episode. I think I was just too invested in Sopranos when I tried it. I was trying to juggle them both. I found out I'm a one series at a time kind of guy. I'm a monogamous series guy, you know.
You can't cheat series.
I can't have a side series.
You can't fondle the series over here and then like come back home to your comfort series and then like go out and find a different series at the bar to fondle.
I gotta take it one series at a time. If I'm doing one, like, I can have a wife series, like, you know, because, you know, with the wife it's always like, and you know now, all of 6 days.
All 6 days.
But you know, you get the one episode with your significant other where it's like, and then they're like, oh, I don't want to watch anymore right now. And you're like, well, yeah, but finish it. I want to. And they're like, oh, it's something else right now. Fuck, man. I want to watch it. So then you got that time alone. You're like, I could watch it. I'm like, God damn it, no, fucking, I'll wait. Anyway. So I got a wife series and I got a me series.
So what you're saying is you would not do good in a series 3-way.
No. The me series is me like jerking off.
Sounds like a homemade movie.
Right. Anyway.
So, did you have more on that point?
Not on that specific point, but if you got more on that specific point.
I have any more on that specific point.
Oh, you got another thing going,
I
Brad?
got another thing going.
Okay.
So.
It is about American Beauty, right?
Yes.
Because I keep sidetracking, so.
So do I. It's okay. We've talked a lot about fast food.
Yeah.
And speaking of fast food, what do you get fast food in?
A bag.
Does the bag mean anything?
Fuck that bag. Now, here's the deal. If you film a plastic bag, you may just be... I don't want to say the word.
Autistic.
Oh, you said it. You can't say it. Ah, you said it. Fuck.
I said it. You can
I'm not being mean. No, we don't have to bleep that. It's not being mean. It's just... I don't think it's any question that there is a little bit of autism in him.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way he's portrayed, like he's definitely got maybe like an Asperger's, not in a mean way. I'm just saying, like autistic, maybe Asperger, like something's going on there where he's just kind of like, hey, just the way he does it, where they're like he walks up to Angela and Jane when they're smoking and like very obviously talking about him, and he just walks up and he's just like, hey, and you're like, hey.
Or like when he's just...
Or when he just films someone in front of them before talking to them about it.
Standing there on the fucking patio just filming.
Yeah, and like turns the light.
Click.
Hey, it's me.
Don't worry, just me, I'm filming you. It's exactly what you thought it was.
It's nighttime and I'm a man, you know, and men typically rape women.
At nighttime.
You know, at nighttime in front of their houses. And we're outside. Hey, it's me.
It's exactly what you thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that. Yeah. I don't think the plastic bag meant a goddamn thing. And like one thing I thought, like, I mentioned it to you, was I wonder how many takes it took to shoot that scene. Because obviously, it's not impossible, it's not unheard of, but it's pretty difficult to get a plastic bag to just fucking go in circles like that. Because like most of the time you sit there, you put some air to it, it's going to fucking blow whatever way. So you gotta have a fan to your left, fan to your right, fan over here, someone up top with a fan. Like, alright, angle the fan this way, alright, just... All the people, the fans are going like this, like moving left and right and shit.
Yeah. Do we get it?
Oh,
Scott got in the shot! God damn it, Scott.
Like, how many takes did that little shot take? Just to get the bag just right.
Right. A lot. Or not. Maybe it was just a great day. And they just set that bag on the ground. They're like, go, little bag.
You know, it's funny. I've seen so many like different shows like make fun of this particular scene right here.
Yeah.
Just how fucking stupid it is. I don't get the metaphor. Online, according to this page I clicked on of the philosophy of American Beauty, it's apparently someone really into fucking deep in depth on this one. They're saying that the bag represents dread. What?
Fuck that, because when he talked about it, what he said it meant to him was the fact that he said it was the universe telling him that, you know, everything's alright. Like, that he doesn't need to worry. That's what he said. And so, what I was saying is it's kind of like, is this their way of saying, like, what they believe of the afterlife or something?
Did you turn into a plastic bag?
Well, not that, but Dead Lester narrates this whole movie.
Right. I'd want to narrate my life too if I was dead.
Sure. But, so that means, I guess that, I mean, whether they mean it or not, like, whether it's just a lazy story, because if they go, oh, we didn't think about that, then it's just a lazy storytelling device. But I got to imagine that the writer was like, well, yeah, we're thinking about this. Like, this is how we're... You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like, I got to imagine that he's because he's already imparting his philosophy, not his how he feels about the American dream with this movie. Because the Burnhams have the white picket fence, the roses, the mom, the dad, the daughter. I mean, everything's
the American dream.
They literally have the white picket fence. They literally have the big house and all this shit, right? And they're successful, and they got a $4,000 sofa, and it's like, really, you're gonna spend $4,000 on a sofa?
I would never. So,
I gotta imagine that's his other thing he's imparting is like, well, I think this happens, So, for whatever reason, Ricky needs that comfort. So, did he think that now they don't come out and say it and I imagine because that'd probably be alienating to some audiences, and so they just kind of say like the universe. But is that like his way of? Is that the universe looking out for him, or like a god, right, in the situation? Like, because he's going through all this traumatic shit with his father, where his father obviously is not afraid of just laying a smackdown on him.
Smackdown so hard your nose starts bleeding from flinching.
Right. Before you get hit.
Before
it's like,
you just
oh no! Yeah.
Your body's already in preparation.
So, yeah. I mean, is that... I don't know. Was that his, like... Or did he make the shit up and he's just like, oh, this bag, it meant something to me because fucking I'm scared of my dad all the time. The bag will protect me. I don't know. That's all I have to say.
Going on his dad beating him. The second time that he got punched when, he said that he was the best ass in
Best piece of ass in 3 states?
Yep.
Yeah.
You gonna tell me he has no reaction time to that? Because, like, his dad, like, he did a whole, like, grunt and he took his arm back.
Yeah.
So, like, his dad was like, huh? And, like, at that point, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's about to hit me, so he just fucking took it. Like,
Well, that's what he said. He's like, I'll never fight you, Dad. Like in the first beating.
But that doesn't mean you can't, like, fucking flinch and react. Like, I'm not gonna fight you, but, like,
he just takes it.
I'm gonna make you work for it. I'm not gonna fight you back, but you go work for it. Come on, you'll be quicker than that.
I guess.
I don't know.
For whatever, I don't know. That's how he's brought up. You know?
Maybe it's the philosophy of if you fight it, you get beat even worse.
Probably.
Like, you really get ass whoopings.
Just go ahead, take your fucking...
Get ass whoopings as a kid, you try and move around, you fucking get it even worse.
Take your licks and move on.
I thought it was funny how he cocked his hand back and he made this grunt noise, and I was like, he's gonna do it.
Yeah. It's obviously his philosophy, just go ahead and get it over with. Real quick, John Cho. He's from Harold and Kumar.
Yep.
He was the Asian dude that walked in. Wasn't one of the dudes walking through the open house with her wife. So, all right. So you want to go?
It's good to see he's doing well for himself.
Do resolutions or quotes? What did we say?
Resolution.
Okay. So, wrote out pretty much a whole page here.
Let's hear it.
So most of the movie, so it's kind of the American dream, right? Most of the movie is kind of based on selfishness, which one would argue is maybe a good part of the American dream.
Uh-huh.
You could say Lester lulled himself into a state of conscious hibernation because life wasn't the way he wanted it to be anymore. This could also be met by the fact that Carolyn likely wasn't willing to compromise on her pursuit of stuff or happiness or the American dream, whatever. Whereas he doesn't have the same interest, or at least the same version of the American dream as her, right? Carolyn feels as if she is being suppressed because Lester is no longer willing to be just bossed around and wants to do his own thing, wants to have his own thoughts. She gets caught cheating, and she's mad at him. Not sure how that works.
That's how it normally works, though.
Carolyn's mad at Jane for being a brat, but Jane could only be a product of the environment that she created. So, yes, Jane could choose to be more understanding and, at least to hear parents' side, but that's not exactly what teenagers do. Carolyn thinks everyone should be happy because of what she does and what they've built, but she doesn't realize that it's not what everyone else wants, and she's so selfish that she can't see any other perspective of her own. That I feel like so much of this movie is built on selfishness and just self-absorbedness. The lack of ability to see other people's perspectives. Lester can't hardly see it. Lester just wants Jane to, be his friend again. That's what he says to her in that first dinner scene. Like, oh, Jane, we used to be pals. It's like... But he doesn't see what she's going through. Now, granted, teenagers kind of suck.
Oh, yeah.
So they're gonna do that thing where they're just like, I'm not interested in you.
Hate my parents.
Yeah.
Dead. I never want my parents dead, but we all hit that. We all hit that teenage. Like, fuck you guys.
Fucking talk to me. Yeah.
Fucking leave me alone. I was never like, I'm gonna take my boob job money and hire someone to kill my dad. Never reached that.
Never reached any boob job money though.
No, I mean, as you see, still flat chested.
If you paid for surgery, you got fucking ripped off.
They already leaked out.
This is helium. So, Ricky's dad's selfish, and basically his mood is just the mood of the house. You see the way they all sit down and watch TV. And, he sits right in the middle of the couch, even when it's just him and the mother sitting there. He's like, and she's just kind of, leg crossed, leaning to the side of the couch. Okay. We're watching. And they're watching army shows. And mother's not even, looking at the TV. She's just kind of I don't know. She's probably looking, but, it just seems more to me like she's just kind of I'm here.
Don't beat me.
The mood of the house is just based on him. And, he's selfish in the because he feels he can't express the way he wants to express himself. Then he feels that everyone else must be miserable as well, and that's why he's such a miserable prick and just dictates how everyone else's operations are going. The more I read this one, the more I'm I don't like it. I had a whole sex theory. It was once everybody started pursuing sex, they were happier. Except for one guy, but...
He was confused.
Jane and Ricky... Jane's happy once she starts banging Ricky, right? Carolyn's happy once she starts banging the real estate king. And... Lester's happy once he starts pursuing sex, and as he puts it, whacking off whenever he feels like it. So everything goes well for them. You could argue that Frank is just still miserable because he's suppressed and he can't express that side of him. And then and to put it into perspective even more, the gay couple's really happy, right? So they're two people that are already having sex, right? So you see these two people are very happy. Carolyn puts on her make-believe face, but then is a fucking bitch to Lester. And Jane when they're coming out for that first car ride. And so it's just a quick, like, underlying topic of the movie where I was just like, well, sex is a solution.
Everyone's happier when they're pursuing or having sex, and you talk about the gay couple. Not only are they having sex, but they're having gay sex. Maybe that's the answer to all this. Gay sex.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start having gay sex with my wife. How does that work? I don't know. We're gonna figure it out.
Hey, no one call her Jim.
Yeah.
What'd you call
Something.
me? We're role playing, right?
Where'd you put that?
I want to role play tonight. I want you to be my shop buddy.
The other underlying plot is like we already kind of covered this. Is just the God thing, or the afterlife, some form of afterlife. Are Ricky and Lester on the same wavelength of just because Ricky feels like he's figured it out. He says he's not afraid of anything anymore, and this bag told him everything he needs to know, which, like, whatever. But then Lester says the same thing, narrating as a dead man. Not about the bag. Of course, the bag is in the background as he's saying it. But he says there's so much beauty. He says something very parallel to what Ricky says. Parallel. I did my hands around. Parallel. So I'm just used to going like this when I'm talking. And so I went like line. Parallel. It's like, no, that's a line, dipshit. He said something parallel to what Ricky said, not verbatim what he said, but, feel like my heart's going to burst looking at all the beauty in the world, blah, 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 but, then I remember to let it go. He completes Ricky's sentence. Because Ricky just kind of goes like, I don't know if I can take it. But then Lester, and he's dead, and so I guess he's just enlightened now. And he's like, so then I just let it go. I let all the beauty go, blah, blah, whatever. So, some sort of afterlife theory. All of that having something to do with the American dream in some way or another. And then the last one is just the fucking close your curtains theory.
Oh yeah, why the fuck is
everyone's curtains open?
Like, is that
close
like,
your curtains?
Is that like a suburb thing?
Close your curtains, and most of this shit doesn't happen.
Like, is that like a suburb thing? Like, why the fuck is everyone's curtains just all the way open? Blinds and curtains and everything, all the way open. I don't understand it.
Doesn't make sense.
Here's
the main the breaking point of the movie where Lester gets shot doesn't happen if Frank doesn't look in his garage window and go, oh my god, my son's blowing Lester. He's gay. And then he takes his opportunity to go over there and blow Lester.
And Lester says, you got the wrong
idea.
idea.
The wrong idea, and then he doesn't get it. So, and there's the other question.
So that he blew Lester a different way.
Right. Does Frank kill Lester because A, he feels rejected, or B, because Lester knows he's gay and didn't reciprocate? Like, so is he going like, hey, you're gay. Gay people just do gay stuff all the time, right? And so he just goes right up to him like, let's do gay stuff. And he's like, oh, you do gay stuff with him, but you want to do gay stuff with me? And so does he kill him because of that? Or is it just because, like... So does it... What... I guess what I'm saying is, what does he think? Does he think Lester's not gay, and now this not gay guy knows I'm gay? Or does he go, I'm killing you because you rejected me? He still thinks Lester's gay. Does he think Lester's gay and kills him? Or does he think Lester's not gay and kills him?
I think it's a mixture of both of them, because now he's out here thinking that, you know.
Like, do you think he processes that maybe he didn't see it right because the fucking window pane's right there? But the house is in the way? The division between the two windows are in the way?
The house is in the way when the blind should be in the way as well.
Right.
I think it's a combination of both where he's sitting there, he's thinking like, oh shit, this non-homosexual male now knows that I am gay, I am homosexual.
Yeah.
That scares him because obviously he had an upbringing where gays were not
tolerated.
allowed.
Yeah.
No, not tolerated. And then part of the rejection too as well, you look back at how he lives his lifestyle, he is the king. In other terms. He is the ruler of his house, he is the one in charge, he gets what he wants.
Yeah.
So then to be told no or to get rejected to someone like that, I could see how tied in with coming to terms that, you know, it kind of accepting the reality of that you might just be gay, and all the emotions that flow with that you just kind of snap. He's already fucking just willing to lay hands on his son and probably his wife, so I mean,
well, it's a stranger.
Yeah.
What's the neighbor?
And that's just my thought. Another kind of like a philosophy idea or something like that with this though is so that scene where he's looking out the window and he sees what looks to be his son blowing Lester.
Yeah.
You can kind of take that in a way as life is all about your viewpoint. Because his viewpoint was like, oh, he's fucking blowing Lester. In reality, no. They were smoking weed.
Rolling a joint. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
it's all your perspective. And your lack of ability to see someone else's perspective. Which is the other people's problems in the movie, which kind of goes back to the selfish philosophy that I was talking about. So, which all ties into the American dream. Well, this is my American dream. I don't care how you feel about it. I'm doing this.
This movie also has a...
You're competing with my American dream? Well, you need to die. And here's the other question. Does Carolyn kill Lester if Frank doesn't beat her to it? Or is she just going to threaten him?
Going back and watching it now, I don't think she was going to kill him.
Because she then cries into his clothes.
I don't think she was going to kill him. I feel like she was more than likely she's probably going to like go more terms of like, we're getting a divorce, and that's
like putting the gun
as simple as it is. We're getting a divorce.
We're getting a divorce, and you're not going to take me for all my shit.
I will not be a victim.
I won't be a victim.
I won't be a victim.
I'm going to illegally threaten you.
I'm gonna make you the victim.
I'm gonna make you the victim. Like,
I'm not gonna be
that's
the victim.
Not what those. That's not what those tapes meant.
I'm not the victim. You're the victim.
Yeah. You're the victim of a homicide.
But like, here's something to think about, though. Kind of like if you think about it, an underlying message of the movie, which this movie has a lot of fucking underlying messages.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you are happy, that's when your life takes a shit. Think about it. When everyone hit the point to when they were finally happy,
except Carolyn and Frank,
took a shit.
Yeah.
Well, no, you think about it.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, Carolyn.
No, Carolyn was happy. She was fucking the real estate king.
When she was fucking the king.
Yeah.
When she was fucking
you like getting
Buddy.
nailed by the king?
And then
you like getting nailed by the king?
Yeah. she's fucking flexible if that was really her. Regardless, she was happy, and then they decided to go to Smiley's.
Again, if you don't want to get caught, if you're having an affair that it might be harmful if people catch you, maybe just don't go to public places and start fucking getting hickeys in the drive-thru, huh?
So like,
I don't know.
She was happy then, and then it just, as soon as you're at your happiness, it's always something happens.
Of course, Frank, I don't think ever really got happy.
Yeah, I mean, Frank was never a happy person to begin with.
he thought he was going to be happy. He was happy walking over to that garage, and then it was like, it went out, the flame went out immediately. He was like, oh, here comes happiness. And Lester was like, whoa, you got the wrong, and he's like, fuck!
There it went. There it went. Yeah, so, just another idea, because, I mean, that was kind of like a reoccurring thing that happened in a movie to multiple characters. As soon as you hit your happy point, all of a sudden, I mean, because, like, sit there and, you know, Lester gets asked from Angela, you know, how are you? He's like, that's the first time anyone's asked me that in a really long time. He said, I'm great. And you can tell he was just really happy. You know, he sat down, he's looking at the picture of his family. And
here's the other way it ties to sex. He hears Jane's happy because she's got a boyfriend. She thinks she's in love. Jane's sex made Lester happy. Lester didn't want to have sex. He wanted Jane to have sex.
Lester didn't want to pop a cherry.
Here's the other thing I feel bad about. I mean, granted, do you ever feel bad when, like, the main character never gets
what they wanted?
Like the ultimate, like I don't feel bad that he did not statutory rape that girl. But you thought it was going to happen for him with the wife in that scene on the $4,000 sofa.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, Lester, get some legal pussy.
Get some legal pussy from your married wife.
And then it doesn't happen. And you
already
go,
been destroyed by the king.
Yeah.
And
you go like, Lester. So then the movie ends and you're thinking maybe, just maybe, he still has a chance to get some with Carolyn. Because the king's going through a divorce and then he just never gets it. Lester hasn't had sex in years, and he dies having not had sex in years, and that sucks.
Fucking jerking off in the shower.
In the shower.
Jerking off in the bed next to his wife. I don't know if I could do that one. Like, I feel like just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm too vigorous. But like,
you gotta go really slow.
But that doesn't like.
This is speaking from experience here. You gotta go really slow. And you gotta make sure she is deeply asleep.
But I moved to, but like I gotta get like my legs comfortable. I gotta get like a good like.
No, you don't worry about that if you're gonna jerk off with your wife.
Yeah, I'll get up and go to the goddamn bathroom. Like, if that's the case. If I'm at the point where I'm so horny out, I'm gonna jerk off in bed while she's sleeping next to me. I'm just going to the fucking bathroom.
I'm joking, by the way. Yeah, no, it's yeah.
But
that was fun, but. I don't think. Listen, that's fucked up. That, like, I would hope that if I was jerking off in bed, I would hope my wife would either just be like, okay, or like not roll over and be like, "Are you masturbating?" Like, let's read the full quote of that scene here because it's here. What are you doing? Nothing. You were masturbating. I was not. Yes, you were. Oh, all right, so shoot me. I was whacking off. That's right. I was choking the bishop, chafing the carrot, you know? Saying hi to my monster. That's disgusting.
Never heard of chafing the carrots.
Not beating the bishop. The fuck? Hi to my monster. He used, like... I've never heard of any of those. I've heard choking the chicken. I've heard beating the meat. You know, beating my meat, whatever. I'm trying to think of the other ones I've heard. Choking the chicken. I feel like the main ones
Spanking the monkeys.
I've heard spanking the monkey.
Spanking the monkey.
Choking chicken, spanking the monkey, beating the meat.
Why do guys have all these different
Why
terms?
do we keep making names for them? I don't know.
Why do we have all these different terms for like jerking off? But like, what do we call it when fucking women masturbate? Flicking the bean?
Flicking the bean, as Roger from American Dad says,
Flicking the
bean. Dane Cook says. Dane Cook says, "I can't watch a woman touch herself because to me you look like DJ Diddles." Which is funny. DJ Diddles. So I got quotes left. That's about all.
Oh, I had one more.
Okay.
What time were we at? What's our time?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So.
Hour 9.
Why do you think that Lester did not have sex with Angela.
He found out there was I think part of it probably was the fact that the way she talks, he probably thought like, oh, she's been around the block a couple times. I'm not doing anything wrong.
She's the best piece of
I'm not
ass
taking
in the
her.
States.
I'm not taking her innocence or anything. As soon as he finds out that he's her first time and she was just trying to put this image on, and you know, she just liked the way he made her feel. And I think knowing that he had a daughter, he didn't want, having that perspective of having a daughter, he probably felt that he wouldn't want his daughter taken advantage of that way. Once he finds out it's her first time, he's like, oh. Because that's what did it. That's when he stopped, is when he found out it was her first time.
But like, if it was his daughter's 30th time, then whatever. Men can take advantage of her.
Apparently. It's not a movie of like grade A morals. I mean, Ricky is a drug dealer. Like, as good of a guy as he is, and as terrible of the circumstances as he has, he's not a great dude still. Like, he still deals drugs, and, you know, it's not a great thing. Now, granted, it's just weed, but, like, it is illegal. You know, I mean, depends on your moral code, I suppose, but I am aware that this podcast is basically discussing the pursuits of pedophilia. So.
Which is, again, a good topic for Kevin Spacey.
Right. I think he's a fantastic actor, and it really sucks. It really sucks that his personal life turns out it's the way it is. Because it's a good movie.
You could be a good actor. You can like the actor, but you can like the acting of the actor, but you can dislike the person.
Right.
Like, I like R. Kelly's music. I don't like R. Kelly.
Right. Yeah. All right, want to do quotes?
Let's do quotes.
Oh, sure. Times are tight. You gotta free up some cash. You gotta spend money to make money, right? Like the time Mr. Flourney used the company MasterCard to pay for that hooker, and she used the card number and stayed at the St. Regis for, what was it, 3 months? That's unsubstantiated gossip. That's $50,000. That's somebody's salary. That's somebody who's gonna get fired because Craig has to pay women to fuck him. They're at the party, and he says, "It's okay, I wouldn't remember me either." "Honey, don't be weird." "All right, honey, I won't be weird." "Look, I'm not paying you to do whatever it is you're doing out here." "Fine, so don't pay me." "Excuse me?" "I quit, so you don't have to pay me now. Leave me alone." Asshole.
That's how I want to quit.
This one was easier to pull up from the IMDb page. "Your father and I were discussing his day at work. Why don't you tell our daughter about it, honey?" "Janie, today I quit my job. And then I told my boss to go fuck himself, and then I blackmailed him for almost $60,000. Pass the asparagus." "Your father seems to think this kind of behavior is something to be proud of. And your mother seems to prefer that I go through life like a fucking prisoner while she keeps my dick in a mason jar under the sink. How dare you speak to me that way in front of her? And I marvel that you can be so contemptuous of me on the same day that you lose your job." "Lose it? I didn't lose it. It's not like, whoops, where'd my job go? I quit. Someone pass the asparagus, please."
Oops, where'd my job go? I think that's probably my favorite.
That's my favorite scene of the movie, is when they're fighting at the dinner table. And he throws the asparagus plate into the wall. Just that, it's my favorite scene of the movie.
Oh, shit.
"I think I'm gonna walk too." "Jane, that's like almost a mile." Just the stupidest fucking thing.
It's almost a mile.
"Where's your wife?" "I don't know. Probably out fucking that dorky Prince of Real Estate asshole." That's all I got. So, what do you rate it?
Out of 10, I'm gonna give this an 8.8. Because I would watch it again. I just think it's a very dynamic and like more of like a complex style movie. There's a lot to take in, and you
almost have to watch it again.
Yeah, there's a lot to take in. There's different viewpoints to take in on it, and it makes it great for discussing. which is why I wish our third person was here to have their input, which we are missing. If you haven't noticed by now, we're missing someone.
If you're a regular listener,
Spoiler.
yeah, somebody's missing, but that's all right.
So that just, I think.
Now, granted, we do have a bit of a rotating cast here, so if you haven't caught on by now, it's kind of, it's typically the most podcasts that happen are pretty much Dakota, Charles, and myself. Jason's jumped on as our tech dude, and he has an open invitation to any of these because he's a good conversation guy too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Harley is obviously always welcome because he's a great conversation guy as well. It's just he works second shift, and so it's harder to do that. And Harley and I have been kind of tackling the James Bond series, which is a bit of a slow burn. It's just 27 movies, and it's a lot. So those will be rolling out. By the time this comes out, I think Dr. No will have come out. So you hear Harley and I on that. The video is starting. I think this will be our first video, unless we get to recording the circle jerks. It depends how that goes. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Anyways, 8.8. I think that's probably the highest rating I've gave any movie we've done. I just liked it. I'd watch it again. What do you give it?
I was gonna give it 8.5. Though this is where the letter grade thing kind of fucks me up, because I thought a letter grade was
it's a C.
The good way to 8.5 is be a B, but I mean, out of 10, it's direct percentages,
shit.
But
Yeah,
it's all good. I think I want to stop numbers. I just want, me personally, I just want to say letter grades every time, because I think it's an A movie, but somehow when I'm rating it out of 10, it still only feels like an 8.5 to me, which I understand is a B. But in my head, I still want to give it like an A minus, because it's an A movie. You know what I mean? It's well done. It's, you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
I like a letter grade, and I think it's an A movie, and that doesn't, because the number thing, I kind of feel like sometimes you give that number, but if you rate it too high, it's kind of like that. Well, where are you going from that? What does something have to do to be better? And there's so many fucking movies that this is why I didn't like rating to begin with. You and Charles really pushed rating, and I was like, yeah, but I don't like rating. I just want to talk about it. I don't know.
But you gotta talk about if you like the movie or not.
And I think I do typically express it. But anyway, I'm sticking with letter grades. And I think this was an A movie, and I don't think that anyone would argue with that unless this is just someone's just genre wise, and unless someone's just where's the action? I don't know.
No booms.
Yeah, no booms.
Well, there's one boom.
There's boobs.
There's one boom.
There's boobs instead of booms.
Someone's like, man, 0 out of 10, no real pedophilia. Completely hated it.
It didn't have. He backed out.
I wouldn't have backed out.
Yeah. All right. Well, at Constant Crisis 1 on Twitter and Constant Crisis Hotline at yahoo.com. Thanks for listening or viewing now. And everybody have themselves a good night. Or day, or morning, or whatever, wherever this podcast catches you, I hope it's great. So, thanks for listening or viewing. Goodbye.